So I ask all you TNA fans, are you happy now? Because it seems like TNA is pretty much doing a lot of what the internet fans would want now. I mean, look at this. We have Bobby Roode, World Champion. The show is literally revolving around James Storm, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Bobby Roode, all these guys that we've all wanted to be in the main event scene. Now, even though this is temporary, just like every great TNA period is, but at least it's something that we all wanted. Now, people, of course, can continue to complain about how this doesn't make sense and how they rushed this, but really, unless you have a time machine, there's nothing you can do about that. So this whole night was dedicated to Bobby Roode, who has developed kind of a Christian-like heel persona. I mean, he kind of talks in the manner that Christian talks. He does the same mannerisms that Christian does, and it's pretty much the same tone of voice that Christian uses. That's just what I'm kind of noticing. But before every commercial break, you would see James Storm questioning people, wanting to find out who attacked him. And that was basically the way we started the show. It was what we saw throughout the show, and it was what ended up closing the show, was James Storm trying to find out who attacked him. It was definitely something different to actually close the show, with James Storm and AJ Styles, and then Cass thrown in there, who was like the forgotten member of 4chan. And then we ended up revealing that it was Kurt Angle that attacked James Storm, which makes sense because James Storm took the belt off of Kurt Angle. So it's a good feud to look forward to, and either way, just being in this feud helps James Storm look more like a main eventer. And you all got your wish. Gail Kim is both the Knockout and the Knockout Tag Team Champions. Now, I know Gail Kim is a much better in-ring talent than Velvet Sky. And the role they have her in right now is perfect for her because she does kind of lack on mic skills and on personality. So they put her with two people that have a personality, and they just let her feed off of their energy and their personality and their charisma and all that stuff. So it's a perfect role for Gail Kim to be in. But for everyone that wanted Gail Kim and everyone that approves of Gail Kim taking the belt off of Velvet Sky, even though Velvet Sky didn't really get to do anything with the championship, you have no right to complain whenever that happens to another champion. I'm just saying, it doesn't matter. You can't use the excuse of, oh, he hasn't held the belt long enough. I mean, it's basically like with the same people that want CM Punk to win the WWE Championship at Survivor Series this Sunday. Now, you could use whatever other excuse you want, but don't use the excuse of, oh, this person wasn't champion long enough, because you don't care about how long they're champion. You just care about the better champion being champion, so use that excuse instead. Though I do suppose if Gail Kim lost the championship in a month, people will complain that she didn't have a strong enough championship run. It's funny how that works, isn't it? But I digress. Couple things about this match. Number one, where was Jackie? Number two, Mickie James looked really sloppy. There was a lot of uncoordinated looking moves that happened. But whatever, that doesn't really matter. Mickie James ended up winning the match, and now Mickie James is going to go on to challenge Gail Kim for the Knockouts Championship. Who could ever forget their classic clash in WWE? Hopefully this match is just as good as that match was. Now here's another example of TNA doing what the internet fans want. People were complaining about Mexican America beating Inc. at the pay-per-view, saying, oh, they should have lost them, there's nobody else for them to contend against. And here we got a new tag team put together of Matt Morgan and Crimson, which I think is a good tag team. These guys look good together. They have similar styles. And the best parts about this match, first, they remembered to lift up the Mexican flag before the match started so people can actually see the match. Second, the Mexichicks got involved a total of one time. And we got the tag team championships off of Mexican America, and this is a good thing. This could lead to a little mini feud between Crimson Matt Morgan and Mexican America before an eventual tag team split up between Matt Morgan and Crimson some more time down the road. And then, of course, we have the X Division stuff. Austin Aries is champion. And then we have, I don't think I'm going to call that guy Randy Orton anymore just because he's really not all that bad. He's actually kind of good. So unless he stops impressing me and he starts sucking, I'm not going to call him by his actual name. But I mean, this has been probably one of the longest rivalries TNA has ever been able to drag out besides the Kurt Angle and Jeff Jarrett thing. Because really, these guys have all been feuding with each other since they brought in the new X Division talent. And I guess in a way that is a good thing because we're actually getting a storyline that lasts long, that isn't on and off, and that isn't all that screwy and makes sense at the same time. That's something that's really rare in TNA. completely perfect. They gotta leave some stuff in there for fans to complain about. I mean, we have Zack Ryder as the television champion, which a lot of people hate him, even though he's really not all that bad of a wrestler. It's just his gimmick that people really don't like. You have him, and then on top of that, you have the rivalry revived between Elijah Burke and Devon and the kids and everyone. I'm probably the only person on the internet that actually doesn't have a problem with this rivalry. And then we have that thing with Jeff Hardy and Jeff Jarrett that nobody really cares about, even though I did like this segment because Karen Jarrett completely owned Jeff Hardy, and yet they're still continuing this rivalry even though Jeff Hardy beat him 3 straight times in a row. But I mean, really, what do you expect out of Jeff Jarrett? So yeah, of course TNA has its flaws, but hey, let's look at all the great things they're doing, because I can guarantee you it's not going to last much longer, so let's just enjoy it while it lasts. So anyway, be sure to vote on the new poll for our Slammy Awards video that we will be doing next month. And if you haven't voted on a certain poll yet, go ahead and do that. We'd really appreciate it. And anyway, there's been MTO. We'll say MTO more reviews. Yada, yada, yada. Let me say this so I don't make anybody mad. Blah, blah, blah. The end.